New York, big city of dreams.
I'm coming straight out.
New York, big city of dreams.
NYC.
What's going on? This is Jay Ellis from Nick of Time Show, giving you that Knicks talk just in the nick of time. And it's time to do something that we haven't done that much this season. It's time to celebrate the Knicks beating the Hawks 101-87, led by the leader of the night, my guy Kemba Walker, gives you a triple-double. Gunshots in the air for Kemba Walker, man. First triple-double since 2014. The smiley face assassin, the Don from UConn, gives you 10 points, 12 assists, and 10 rebounds on the night. Julius Randle awakens from the Doges, gives you 25 points, 3 assists, 3 turnovers, 12 rebounds, and 1 steal on the night. Super efficient. 60% from the field, 66% from 3. And the Knicks walk out of here with a victory on Christmas Day without Trae Young, with RJ Barrett coming back, and with the Knicks stepping up and playing very good offense for the first time in a long time. These Knicks win, man. Merry Christmas to you guys, man. Merry Christmas, Knicks Nation. Gunshots in the air. The Knicks deserve this win, man. We played right today, dog. We played right, man. This is we wanted this one and we got this one. Man, what a difference a few days make. What a difference a few days make. And listen, you got to give it credit, man. We got to give this guy credit. We got to give Kemba Walker credit, man. You got to give Kemba Walker credit, man. Everybody, including me, was iffy on Kemba Walker. We just, you know what? We had talks about what happens when you have guys together who aren't used to sharing the ball. And we kind of compared this Knicks team to the Miami Heat team back in the day, right? Not to say that our ceiling is a Miami Heat championship, but when you have different guys who are used to having the ball and they're trying to figure out how to play each other, sometimes one guy defers a little bit too much, and sometimes guys have to step up. Kemba Walker is obvious now that Kemba Walker needed to step up and be aggressive from the jump, and that was the reason, or part of the reason, why we got off to a slow start offensively. Now it's very clear. Kemba Walker is kind of the engine and the first option for this team, because this game started off in the right direction because Kemba Walker started off aggressively and started off in the right direction. And before I even get into this breakdown of this game, shout out to the chat, man. Gunshots to the chat. Merry Christmas to Johnny Mo Crash, Big Reaper, Mr. Rivera, Vib Shop, Rich Jim, the best mod in the game, Fritz Alessandor, Picks for Timmy, Jean Cheryl, and everybody else is rocking with the KOT show. And you too, JT Reddick. Shout out to you guys as well, man. Kemba Walker, though, man, this game started off because Kemba Walker was aggressive. He was aggressive going to the hole, and he was aggressive shooting that 3 off the pick and roll. And that opened up the game for everybody else on this team. Once Kemba Walker started going, everything opened up. The biggest difference in this game from previous games also, assists. You already mentioned that Kemba Walker already had 12 assists by himself. But the Knicks, after complaining that we don't pass the ball enough, 28 assists from these New York Knicks tonight. 28 assists. When the game started, at halftime, I think 5 players or more had shot the ball 5 times. The ball was spread around. The wealth was spread, and it all started with Kemba Walker. And shout out to Craig Williams, give me a $20 super chat. Merry Christmas, J. Ellis, Ryan, G. Roy, and all the mods and everyone in the chat. Salute to you guys, man. Salute to you. But Kemba Walker was the engine who started this. And it's funny because if you're looking at his shooting numbers, he didn't necessarily have a good shooting night. 25% from the field, 22% from three. But what you saw from Kemba was the aggressiveness from three, and also the paint touches. Something else he wasn't doing at the beginning of the season. Kemba Walker got into the paint at will and broke down the defense, especially in that first half. And when he was able to do that, he was able to spray the ball out to all different types of shooters. To Fournier, to Randle, to Grimes. Everybody was eating off of that Kemba Walker drives to the basket. But also, we found is in the second half was something that we've been begging for on this program for a while is, we taking the ball out of Julius Randle's hands and having him, A, go downhill, or B, what we saw today, he was picking and popping. That second half when Randle really started going, Kemba Walker and Julius Randle, they ran pick and roll like 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times in a row and got buried results and different success rates out of that pick and roll. So you saw Julius Randle, who for once he wasn't thinking, he was reacting, making quick decisions, shooting when he's supposed to, not thinking on his shot, straight up follow through, and hitting shots with regularity. All night long, Julius Randle was doing that. And not only that, once he started getting his shot going, we then used Julius Randle as more of a secondary playmaker and not of a primary playmaker, which is something that you really want to see from Julius Randle. 3 turnovers on a night, which is interesting enough, kind of low for Julius Randle. 3 turnovers on the night for Julius Randle. And let's look at some Julius Randle stats. 25 points, 3 assists, 3 turnovers, and 12 rebounds. 60% from the field, 66% from 3. Everything very decisive. Everything extremely decisive. And what I liked about Julius Randle's game too is the joy that he played with today. We talked about leadership posture. We talked about leading by example. If you follow us on Instagram, I was kind of even worried about Randle because it seemed like his head was out the game. And that last Wizards game, even when Kemba was going off and he was scoring and the team was up, Randle did not look like he was having fun. He looked like he was going through the motions. Today was a different Randle, emotionally, spiritually, energy-wise. Today, it seemed like he was bringing it on both ends of the court. And if you was watching the little post game on ESPN, it seems like Kemba and Randle had a talk about it. They had a talk about the leadership of the team, them leading by example. And Randle specifically himself said, we have to play with more joy. We have to play with more joy, and we have to play with more consistency. And when we do that, the other guys will follow. And that's exactly what happened. We got to keep with this formula, guys. We have to keep with the formula of Kemba Walker leading the way. And it seems like Kemba Walker is being a leader, man. It's looking like it right now. It's looking like Kemba Walker's being a leader. We have to stick with that formula of him leading the way, him being the primary playmaker, and Julius Randle making quicker decisions, and him making secondary plays and not just running the offense strictly through Julius Randle. Because you even saw when he got in trouble. When did he get in trouble? He got in trouble when he started going to the post. When he started going to the post and dribbling, it seems like he almost turned the ball over or turned the ball over more frequently. When we was having success, it was Julius Randle, Kemba Walker pick and roll. Either Julius Randle shot the 3, or Julius Randle drove the ball and got assists, or a lot of hockey assists that I saw off of those actions, man. So that is a staple that we need to do moving forward, for sure. And before I even bring into the game too, I need just to talk about Kemba Walker and the blessing in disguise, man. You got to give it to him. You got to give it to him. And I'm still a Deuce McBride guy. I still want to see him get more minutes, and we could have seen him today. But Kemba Walker, you have to give this guy credit, man. Why? Why do you give this guy credit? The professionalism to be out of the games for as long as he have, and to step up and still smile through adversity, still be a leader on the bench, still talk to his teammates, still hearing stories about him talking in video sessions, and then coming in here, and it seems like he's starting to have an effect on Randle. Like, you starting to see a little bit of camaraderie between Randle and Kemba right now. So you got to give it up to him, man. You got to give it up to him because he's performing. And here's the other thing. It's a big deal when a guard can shoot 25% from the field, 22% from three, and be a plus on the night, plus 19 on the night with a horrible shooting day. Like the third highest plus minus of the night next to Julius Randle, Evan Fournier with plus 19. That's how you know you point guard. Because there's been plenty of games when Kemba Walker has scored 17 has been a negative. He vehemently put an imprint on his game. He put a big imprint on his game. And when these guys come back, when Grimes come back, when McBride comes back, it's going to be crazy. It's going to be another gear. Because I'm starting to feel like I'm hoping that we found a synergy. Defensively, it seems like we still have certain ways to go. We still face an undermanned Hawks team. They didn't have Trae Young. There were still certain things I saw defensively that we still have to clean up. Like our pick and roll defense is still not all the way where it should be. It seems like we're getting confused on rotations. I feel like Alec Burks gets confused sometimes on where to rotate. I saw Evan Fournier also not closing out on three-pointers. We still have to clean certain things like that up. But defensively and offensively, we taking a step. I feel like we finally found a flow offensively. And defensively, I feel like Mitch is starting to turn the corner. So even though we're making mistakes, Mitchell Robinson, he's able to it seems like he's getting his win back. He seems like he's able to rotate more. It seems like you're starting to see him, for one, he's starting to block more three-point shots before. He's starting to play for longer stretches. He's starting to get rebounds. He's starting to run the floor for longer stretches. We're starting to see Mitchell Robinson turn a corner, which is a great sight to see because he was looking like dead in the water. Everybody was ready to trade him for Miles Turner, and you might still want that stretch five. Some of you guys might want that, but now it's not a foregone conclusion anymore. Now we're starting to see the value of Mitchell Robinson, the guy that we saw last season, right? So there's a lot of good things to be said about this game, and it starts with our two guys right now who are looking like might be leading the team for real now. It looks like Kemba might be the guy who's lead this team because Woj announced that Kemba Walker will be the starter for the point guard moving forward. He will be the starting point guard moving forward, as expected. So Kemba has the keys now. When we envision getting playmakers on this team and Evan Fournier and Kemba Walker, this is more what Knicks Nation envisioned. This is way more. This is what we envisioned. An offense running smoothly like this. And it's crazy because as smoothly as the offense is running, we've only scored 101 points. But I feel like that will change when we have more guys who can hit. When we have our bench in here, who can run the offense more when Kemba's tired. But still a great effort. The signs of a good offense is how a sign of a good offense really, when you look at it, is how many wide open shots can you produce? How many wide open shots can you produce? And that third and fourth quarter, there were so many wide open shots. It seems like our guys are starting to get it. These guys are playing for themselves. It was driving and kicking, and a lot of those threes are wide open. And once we have more players in, once we have more guys who get their win back, I think we can start getting that offense that we envisioned in our mind once again. All right. But shout out to everybody in the chat, man. I'm gonna start to take some calls and start to get into more breakdowns of the game about Grimes and Mitch Robinson and RJ Barrett and those guys returning. Start talking about more of those guys. But shout out to the chat so far. Shout out to my real fake cousin Winston Ellis. Shout out to you. Shout out to the Shells who sends me a Merry Christmas. Shout out to Knicks Nation TV. Shout out to my guy Jay Boogie in the chat. I saw you got my guy Jay Boogie the preacher. Shout out to D Nice. He says, I'm not convinced, Jay. I'm not convinced. I mean, we still look D Nice. The next few games, we have about 14 games where we play teams who are under 500 or below. So we're going to have a chance to figure it out. Our season really is going to rest on these next 14 games. We really have to start to run the table. But I feel like we still can figure things out. And at least on the offensive side of the ball, we're heading in the right direction. And I think there's some things we can grab from game to game that we can take from this game and bring it into the next game. I still have some hope about that. All right. So first caller up, let's go Reaper. Reaper, let us know what you want to talk about and how did you enjoy this game, sir? Is Reaper there? Next 14 is definitely important. I thought, did I misread something? I thought Reaper was in the log. If he's not in the rule, I can keep going with the show. All right. Oh, Big Reaper's in. Okay. My bad. Why did I think this? All right, cool. So on with the show. Surprisingly, some other things I want to talk about is the bench. The bench scoring is starting to pick up like we want to. One of the big reasons why we even won this game was the bench scoring. If you're starting to look at the bench scoring altogether, and let's pull these stats up. Bench scoring. Take this to a grain of salt because the Atlanta Hawks were depleted. 38-23 when it comes to the bench scoring. Nice showing for our bench. First, I want to highlight Obi Toppin. Obi Toppin, who's been in health and safety protocol over this week, had a pretty decent game. 13 points on a night in 13 minutes. 4 defensive rebounds for Obi Toppin. 5 of 8 from the field. 60%. 1 of 2 from 3. But something that we've been sorely missing was the energy. That's something he actually talked to his coach about. And something that I saw today, and it's something that he started to miss, I feel like, is the off-ball cutting, man. The off-ball cutting. The off-ball cutting is something huge that I feel like Obi is bringing to the table. And it seems like him and Kemba are kind of developing some chemistry. And it made some nice plays at the basket, cutting off the ball. And had some little bit of difficulty defensively, but overall good night from Obi. Something else I want to say about Kemba, and another advantage of Kemba playing more of the point guard role and the primary playmaker role, is off-ball cuts in general have been a problem for this team. I don't know if you've been watching the Knicks offense, right? If you're watching the Knicks offense, when Randle is playing that point Randle role, he often misses cutters. Like I said, he gets a lot of assists primarily off of dribble handoffs and screens. Kemba Walker facilitating the basketball is going to allow a lot more cuts to the basket, a lot more easy baskets, just because he's a point guard, man. It's going to encourage people to cut off the ball more. Even Evan Fournier, who seems to be a guy who cuts off the ball a lot more. I think you'll start to see him shine a little bit more with Kemba running the point. RJ Barrett as well, and even guys like Kemba Walker and even Grimes, man. When I saw Grimes come in and play some hot minutes today, I think he's gonna reap the benefit of that as well. But Kemba Walker, man, what a game for him! Really good. We should have done this a long time ago, man. You know what? Nah, I'm not going to say we should have done this a long time ago. I'm going to change that and say the Tibbs benching just ends up being a blessing in disguise to me. Like, I know we're catching a lot of heat because what was you thinking, Tom? Tom shouldn't have benched him. But this is one of those situations where I just feel like it woke him up. It woke Kemba up because if Kemba was playing this aggressively from the jump, there is no way Tom was going to bench him. Despite the defense, he was just too much of a net positive on the other side of the ball to bench him if he's this aggressive and playing this officially on offensive end and facilitating this much on the offensive end. And you can kind of blame Tom for that too, for not taking the ball out of Randle's hands from the jump. But this Tom benching, man, although he's getting some heat from it, it might end up just being a blessing in disguise. Or it just might end up being the thing that woke up Kemba. Straight up. Like, he might have needed it, man. Otherwise, he would have just deferred to Randle the whole season. Reaper. Now the Reaper's on the line. Shout out to Reaper, man. I thought you was on the line before, but let us know what you want to talk about, sir.
Hey, Merry Christmas, everyone. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. Yeah, I mean, I'm so happy we finally got a win. Actually, this is a very good win. They didn't have Trey and a couple of their main players, but honestly, it feels really good for them to be able to win this game and do it convincingly as well. Overall, I thought it was a good game from everyone. Overall, obviously it's not perfect, but we'll definitely take it. Kemba Walker, he definitely did a much better job running the offense today. I felt like everything flowed really well. And I think you're spot on with everything you're saying. It's better if he initiates the offense and have him be the one who's running the offense through Julius. And Julius actually, because of that, Julius did play a little better today in terms of making quicker decisions.
Yeah.
And like you said, when we actually gave him the ball to actually run the offense, and he started trying to back down into the lane, it was basically a lot of time it was a disaster, So it kind of felt like he had more than 3 turnovers. So I'm
right.
But they say it's 3, so I guess I'll take it. But it really felt like it really felt like he had a lot. He had maybe 5 or something. But I guess maybe it was just. Maybe it was just me.
It was some close calls. It was some close calls, Reaper. There was someone he was falling down and he threw the ball out, and then made it to a 3-point shooter by happenstance. But he made
it. Yeah, definitely. And so I'm really impressed in terms of the whole Kemba Walker thing. I still got to see it play out some more. It's not for me. It's not really the offense. It's never really been about the offense. It's just always been more about the defense. What does it look like when you have Kemba and Fournier on the floor together? Mm-hmm. RJ is back now, so honestly, it is. Having Kemba, Kevin Fournier, and RJ is better than Kemba, Fournier, and Burks because RJ is a better defender, more length than Burks.
Right.
But still kind of have to wait and see. We were able to get away with it today. The Hawks, we actually played pretty good defense today. So
yeah,
we'll see if they can actually maintain that going forward. I'm not even going to say Hawks are just they missed it or because they were only really missing Trey Young, for the most part. So it they came out to play. They were aggressive. They were able to come back. So I was thoroughly impressed with the win today. So I'm just hoping they can, continue and build off of it. And so, but yeah, that's pretty much what I have. And I'm just really happy that we won this game.
Yeah, man.
And hopefully they can build on it.
Absolutely, man. I'm happy too, man. It's giving us a nice little Christmas gift to end this year out, man. I really wanted this win against the Hawks. Now the Knicks are 2-0 against these Hawks. It's not the playoffs, but I'll take it, man.
Yep.
It's not
definitely. That's the best part about it too. I was really happy about it that they basically, of all the games you got to show up for, you definitely want to show up for the Hawks, especially Julius Randle. I'm really happy he showed up for this game and did what he had to do today. And they're looking really good. And that kid Grimes, man, they're looking really good.
Grimes needs to
Grimes is
play.
really good. It's amazing. I know. It's unbelievable. It's really unbelievable. Honestly, I'm still, like I said, man, I still want to see this play out a little more. All this is great, but either Kemba or Fournier. Preferably, I would prefer to keep Kemba because, especially if he can continue running an offense the way he's running it, honestly, one of them got to get traded. I mean, like, we need Grimes or one of these like younger guys in that starting lineup.
Yeah.
Because they can hit the shots, number one, and number two, the defense. The biggest thing is the defense, actually, for me, and like them being able to hit shots is secondary for me. But it seems like they know the plays. They work pretty hard, and they're always in the right position. They don't really screw up. They don't screw up on offense. You don't see them like getting yelled at because they're in the wrong position on offense or on defense. So, just to kind of help shore us up going forward. And I think it'll really help having one of them in the lineup. And
Absolutely.
then the other thing too is because Julius because he's so bad at filling out games, he needs a little more predictability, right? And so I think Grimes, especially Grimes, is going to be able to bring that. You don't need like a Fournier because he's able to do this, that, and the other. You don't know what he's going to do, and
yeah, Grimes is going to shoot it. He's
where
going
he's
to
going to go with the ball. Yeah. So it'll really help Julius. It'll really help the whole team a lot. But I still think one of them, especially Grimes, probably need to get into that lineup.
Absolutely, man. Appreciate your core Reaper, man. This is going to open up the floodgates for this conversation about Grimes versus RJ versus Evan Fournier, because the minutes was looking interesting today when I look at the distribution between those three and the role that we have going forward. Thank you for that call.
Yeah, just one more thing. Just one thing. One last thing, actually.
Sure.
It's a very good point you brought up about RJ. I hadn't really spoke about him. You guys know how I feel about RJ. Talented kid, but him like finishing in the paint. It's kind of crazy. He's not able to finish in the paint, and that's so it is kind of interesting. I didn't look at the minutes yet to see the distribution. What did you see? Did Grimes get the same or more minutes than RJ?
Yes. Here's the thing. RJ and Grimes ultimately finished with the same minutes, but RJ, I feel like RJ got more of the garbage minutes. It was after, I feel like the important minutes really went to Grimes, and there was the push that happened in the third quarter. It was Kemba, Fournier, Grimes, Randle, Mitch. So I'm just under the impression that like I said before, we need an astute defender in that lineup, and also I think we need a low usage player in that lineup too, like a guy who's going to just move the ball, defend, shoot the three when he's supposed to, make decisive decisions, and it worked. That lineup really worked, and that lineup really pushed the lead. So, I love RJ. I'm not saying RJ's out of rotation or anything, because he's his first game back. He started off good after protocol. He got some fast breaks going. He got a dunk. But it just seems like depending on who's shooting, you can see who's going to get more minutes. And seeing that how Grimes is more of a natural shooter, and coaches getting more comfortable with him, I can start to see Grimes be taking minutes away from Evan Fournier or RJ Barrett, depending on how the night goes.
Yeah, I thoroughly agree with you, because I wasn't even really looking at it from that standpoint. But you're right. The fact that he makes really quick decisions, not necessarily because he's going to sit there and dribble the ball and try to make a play, but he's a good playmaker, but he makes very quick decisions. He knows he's not there to run the offense. So that's a very good point. RJ, obviously, he's a bigger guard. RJ, could be a really great player, but I've always said for a long time, he needs to start finishing in the paint. Yeah. And actually, that's his boot. That's the thing that people are not realizing. Tom is going to notice that at some point, especially if you got Grimes sitting there, and he's basically, playing the way he's playing, yeah, RJ should definitely look out. Not like I said, not saying RJ is not going to be a star or anything, but he definitely needs to start finishing in the paint. If he wants to get respect, if he wants to especially start playing more. If he doesn't, it's just not going to happen. And that's one of the reasons why everyone always wonders, says RJ doesn't get respect. But if you look at his efficiency numbers, compare him to a lot of his peers, the people he came into the league with, that's the reason why he doesn't get the respect, because his efficiency numbers are so low, especially his true shooting and effective field goals. They're way below league average. And so, something he really, and it's because he doesn't finish in the lane. That's really what the problem is, because he shoots decent from three. Definitely. And so that's not the problem. It's just the fact that he'll go 3 for 5 from three and go 4 for 3 for 8 or 3 for 11 in the lane. So, but yeah, those are very good points. But that's all I have. Let me get off the phone. Happy holidays, everyone, and happy New Year.
All right, happy holidays to my guy Reefer, man. Yeah, thanks for calling in. But yeah, like I was saying, okay, RJ Barrett on the night. Let me pull up his stats. RJ Barrett on the night, and you still take this with a grain of salt, right? You still take this with a grain of salt because this is his first game back. Sometimes you expect some rust. But RJ Barrett on the night. I'm sorry, I know it's kind of cut off a little bit. RJ Barrett on the night, 4 of 15 from the field, 26%, 9 points. But plus 12 on the night too. So the defense was there. He made certain plays. He had 4 assists, which is good. But the shooting wasn't exactly there. And it looked like for the important parts of the game, the coach decided to go with Grimes, which I'm not mad at. And even Fournier had I was actually kind of surprised that Evan Fournier had a decent game, But Evan Fournier, he kind of found his shots in transition. One of the other things that's impressive about today's game with these Knicks is, one was the assist, 28 assists on the day. After not passing the ball of the game before, finishing the game with 28 assists is pretty impressive. But it's also the turnovers, the points off turnovers. Today, the Knicks had 21 points off of turnovers. And, I think we only forced 12 turnovers on the night for 21 points. At halftime, there came to a point where at halftime, we had more turnovers than the Hawks. But we also produced more points off of turnovers, which is telling me a few things. That's telling us, one, that we're getting back on defense on transition for the first time in a long time, which is a huge deal for us because that's something that we struggled with. And two, that the pace of this team is quickening and we're actually converting off of our turnovers at a higher rate. And Evan Fournier, I feel like, had a good amount to do with that. He made a lot of his breakaway threes off of turnovers. I think he had 15 points on the night. 15 points on the night, 3 assists, 5 rebounds, 3 of 6 from the field from 50%, 6 of 12 from the field as well. Also, what we saw for Evan Fournier today is more of him mixing his game up, not just being a guy who was just spotting up from 3. You saw some floaters from Evan Fournier. You saw him mixing up, going to the hole. So we saw a pretty good Evan Fournier today. It seems like he's getting in the groove offensively. Defensively, when the Hawks made their run, I feel like it was more Alec Burks and Fournier kind of missing some cues, getting confused on where to rotate, not closing out on shooters and things of that nature. But overall, I'm liking what we've seen from Evan Fournier. And like I said, I'm loving Grimes here long term. And Evan Fournier is making $18 million. If Kemba Walker is unlocking this team, and Evan Fournier starts to look more like a complete basketball player, and Grimes starts to come on as well, it's going to look good for us because I feel like we'll be able to move Fournier for maybe a pick or a dead weight, another piece, so we can make a bigger move down the line. Because right now, to me, it's addition by subtraction. It's addition by like if we move Fournier and slide in Grimes with Kemba and RJ, I think our defense will look a lot better. And if Kemba keeps producing at this rate where he's creating open looks for us, and Julius Randle starts to get the idea of how to play off Kemba and be the secondary playmaker more often than not instead of the first option, we're going to do a lot better. A lot better. And I think we'll be able to actually make certain moves, whether it be by the deadline or in the summer, that's going to benefit these Knicks. All right? Picks for Timmy says Evan Fournier keeps giving Evan Fournier props. I might have to. I mean, he had a decent game today, man. He shot well. He had some defensive lapses, but he had a decent game today. I'm still team Grimes though all the way. Long term, I'm still team Grimes because at the end of the day, I'll keep referencing Mark Berman saying, "Oh, we should have gotten Chris Duarte because Chris Duarte is just that good." Grimes could be just as good or better than Chris Duarte. He just needs more time, and it's evident by the. It's evident. Listen, I feel like if Grimes didn't get the referee treatment, that freshman class treatment today, he might have had a better game because the Hawks started to get back in the game after he was up by 16 because Grimes got clobbered at the 3-point line and the rest called nothing. Absolutely nothing. He should have got that 3. And they also called some crazy ticky-tack fouls on him. There was another foul they called on Grimes where he dead ass grabbed the ball. I forgot who he was playing. He dead ass grabbed the ball from somebody on a drive, and instead of calling a jump ball, they called a foul on Grimes. You know what I mean? So the rest had it out for Grimes today, but I feel like once his reputation starts to move around the league that he's a stout defender, he's gonna get more benefit of the doubt, and he's not gonna get called like that. Now hear me out. I am giving Fournier props. I still feel like there's certain things he could have done better defensively. His man at one point, Fournier's man was 4 for 4 from 3, so his rotations are still kind of sucky. You know. But he still scored effectively, and he had some good moments. And if he keeps at least scoring effectively and having more good than bad, his trade value is up, man. His trade value is up, and it'll be easy to move him. It'll be easy to move him. You know what I'm saying? And that's all I got to say about that, really. Alec Burks came off the bench today too. 5 points. Good to see Alec Burks back on the bench. If there was any sort of criticism from Tom today, it might be when there was a point in the game where Kemba was visibly tired. He was chucking up shots and it was air balls from 3. Maybe he could have went to Burks to play the point guard role in more of those moments. Because Burks played 17 minutes today. Maybe that could have been up more to like 20 or 22. But that's nitpicky stuff. But overall good game. And also another positive too, Julius Randle. I was nervous when Kemba Walker was going to the bench. Because the game before when the Wizards were running us out the gym, when Kemba Walker went to the bench, the offense fell apart. This time when Kemba Walker went to the bench for a while, the offense was kind of moving through Randle, and he wasn't doing his post-up move stuff. He was kind of moving to the basket and driving and kicking and making kind of quick decisions. And, lo and behold, it was pretty effective. And Randle kept that momentum going. So, I mean, that was a good sign for Randle. Overall, man. So, shout out to these Knicks. And good game. Good game, man. It's a good game overall. You know what? I don't think we have any more callers. But what I'm going to do though is to celebrate this Knicks win and to celebrate our guy Jay Boogie. I'm going to bring to you guys a treat. It's a Jay Boogie exclusive. Shout out to my guy Jay Boogie. You sent me something. It's the Jay Boogie Christmas song coming to Knicks Nation near you.
It's a jolly time of the year, right before the new year. Ain't no other squad better on this day than the Knicks. We back. Best time of the year, they say it's Christmas. Little kids can't wait to see it's Christmas. New clothes, new toys, mean it's Christmas. You see the Knicks, we back, we on Christmas. It's so pretty when you can see the snowfall. The red nose, tell them that it's Rudolph. Chestnuts roasting, the Knicks stay roasting. Tell the whole league we hosting. Back drumming in the true fifth. Biggest tree in the world filled with presents. Little kids, they checking off their Christmas. Ho, ho, we celebrating this Christmas. Jingle bell, first game playing in the garden. Tell Santa we got the whole league watching. Right before we celebrate the new year. James Golden crossing with the reindeers. Part of the decks they fill with no room to garage. When it comes to the flow, this here's eggnog. Best believe your boy, yeah, I'm on my job. Celebrate your Christmas with the Knicks squad. The best place in the world, that backstage shopping. I AD my wrist so you can keep watching. Shop the streets all over, this is time.
Flames up in the chat.
Best time of the year, they say it's Christmas. Little kids can't wait to see it's Christmas. New clothes, new toys, mean it's Christmas. You see the Knicks, we back, we on Christmas. It's so pretty when you can see the snowfall. The red nose, tell them that it's Rudolph. Chestnuts roasting, the Knicks stay roasting. Tell the whole league we hosting.
Back on Christmas, Jay Boogie predicted this. You can't say St. Nicholas without nicking it. The Knicks on Christmas should be ubiquitous. So shout out if you've been with us, sitting through the interim. Feels like we meant to win. Now that we got tips with us, potential is limitless. Skips go down the chimney. Try to put the Grinch on me, pinch me, but I'm not dreaming. It's a new reality. New York is in the top seat in seasons. Greetings, Eastern Conference. Defense, the Gardens rocking. Best fans in the game. We don't do the home away slip. Catch me at the Staples, baby. I make the sleigh live. 8 gifts pulling up in the Kemba jerseys. Isolate the garden with a pack of Frankenstein herb. Can't resist the urge. Knicks set new squad. Time to burn the competition. Sitting by the UR.
Best time of the year, they say it's Christmas. Little kids can't wait to see it's Christmas. New clothes, new toys, mean it's Christmas. You see the Knicks, we back, we on Christmas. It's so pretty when you can see the snowfall. The red nose, tell them that it's Rudolph. Chestnuts roasting, the Knicks stay roasting. Tell the whole league we hosting.
Something wrong with the TV screen. If that orange and blue ain't playing on that red and that green. Favorite players, yeah, the Knicks stay forever the team. Trying up the upstairs, trying to play chess with the team going forward. They're making sure the squad is in order. They know we hated on by old opposing reporters. It's torture. New Yorkers, we built for fourth quarters. Show up to the court or prepare for a slaughter.
Shout out to my guy Jay Boogie. Merry Christmas. Merry Knicksmas. Knicks win. I saw you, man. We got that win, baby. You got that win tonight. We had Bird tonight, baby. Knicks ate the Hawks for dinner. Kemba Walker had a good day. Woke up, got a triple-double. 10 points, 12 assists, 10 rebounds, 1 turnover. Julius Randle, super efficient. Julius Randle smiling on the day. Shout out to Julius Randle. And also I saw somebody mention Mitchell Robb. Shout out to Mitchell Robb, man. Mitchell Robb turning the corner. Mitchell Robinson gives you 30 minutes. No Nerlens Noel, no Sims. Gives you 30 minutes of action. 4 points, 1 assist, 8 rebounds, 5 blocks for Mitch Robb. Looking spry, looking active, running the floor, covering up for the Knicks' mistakes. Mitch Robb, man. Mitch Robb staying here. And $10 super chat. Shout out to my guy Big Reaper. It says a $10 super chat. It says Merry Christmas KOT. All right. We got Stan. No. Shout out to my man Stan Nowak on the line. Stan, let us know what you want to talk about. We waiting for you, Stan.
All right.
We here, Stan. I hear you.
I'm glad.
There you go. We back. Can you hear me?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I can hear you now. Did you not hear me before?
Yeah, I couldn't hear you before, but you're perfect right now.
Okay, yeah. Let me wish everybody a Merry Christmas and a good win for the Knicks. On Christmas Day, it's kind of a tradition. But I got some random observations about the game. Not going to get into the game because you've already gone over it. Well, first of all, it's Christmas, right? Mm-hmm. Today's December 25th. Here 50 miles northwest of where you are in Orange County, it's December 25th. So why did the Garden decide to paint the floors in Halloween colors?
Well, I mean,
I thought Kemba Walker's head was going to burst into a freaking jack-o'-lantern. All right, take anybody.
I like the Halloween colors. I like the orange trim. It look kind of fly to me, personally. But I don't know. Maybe it's.
Was that a blue or was that black?
It was black, but I'm biased. If you look at the KOT colors on our screen, it's kind of like dark and orange highlights. So maybe that's why I like it.
Okay. And you mentioned Mitch gave us. By the way, my headphone microphone makes me sound like a half octave higher. I've listened back to some of these shows that I've called in on, and I sound like the drunken guy at the end of the bar.
We know you're not drunk yet. It's fine.
Well, no, really. I mean, it's really bad. But anyway, let's see. You mentioned Mitch gave us 30 good minutes. Does Mitch still, and I don't want to mention brand names on the show because that might get you banned or something or get a strike, but does Mitch have to wear, he seems to love to wear the shoes that say, just do it.
Is this an all aesthetics breakdown today?
Yeah, it's going to be random observations about aesthetic breakdown. We'll get into some of the females in the crowd. No, we won't. Right. But I'm only kidding. No, but you can see the guys laboring, and this is just my experience. Well, it's not just my experience. Heck, when I coached the team and when I sponsored a team, I went out and took all the basketball shoes off the kids and bought them. And this is not a brand known for basketball, although Kawhi's got a pair out, but they're made overseas, made in Asia. No, I bought them running shoes. I bought them shoes with harder soles because these sticky basketball shoes that Porzingis had a contract on, and when no, seriously, when Giannis ran him over, remember that?
Yeah. Okay. Question, Stan. Do you have any observations about the game?
Well, other than Kemba's odd triple-double, I mean, he tried really hard, but I mean, you got to shoot better than in the 20 percentile range.
Well, yeah.
I mean, that's obvious.
Right.
I like Obi's. I like Obi's dunk for the last, punctuation point on the game.
Right.
I like Julius. I like Evan. A few defensive lapses. But you can cover up one of those guys because of his offensive capabilities,
but not two.
But
yeah, or three.
yeah, 2 or 3. Yeah, but anyway, what I'm saying is the brand of shoes that the man's wearing, they're very narrow. There are American-made shoes that are running shoes. You can get 2 wide, 4 wide, 6 wide. Gotcha. All right.
Got you.
All right. Well, because the man's wearing.
I feel you. No, we got to move on from the shoe conversation. We got to move on from the shoe conversation.
All right. Yeah. Okay. All right. We wanted you to stay on the air.
Yeah.
RJ, as you had stated, to be expected. I mean, he's rusty. But other than that, I think Julius had a good game.
Right.
A few missed free throws, but so be it. But the Knicks were not at full strength, obviously, but they're basically playing against an Atlanta team that you might as well have called a 3-legged dog. They were missing a lot of their. I mean, Trae Young was not there.
Yeah, Trae Young is their engine. So.
Yeah, and Julius is our engine. If you.
Yeah, well, I would say it's looking like it's gonna be Kemba. I would say right now.
Yeah, but that's not gonna last for long.
Well,
I mean, I think what's going to happen is when I think the Knicks actually are showcasing Kemba. I really do, and I he's a cheap contract to move. Somebody that's got 4 very good defensive players, in the lineup. You can cover that. You can, like you had stated, you can cover that one guy,
right.
and just let him do his thing. And if he is going to be an assist machine like he was today, and let's hope, because that's an improvement, because he's not known for that.
Right.
But if he's going to do that, then more trade value.
Interesting.
And you may, and I think that's what they're doing. I mean, the rest of the league is looking, and the Kemba fanboys are going to be out there, and there are GMs that do like Kemba. I'm sure, got to be in the 30 that are there. And if somebody needs a point guard at the trade deadline, if they're going to be high up in the standings, there could be a trade right there.
Interesting.
And that's I think that's what's going on. And is he being showcased with Fournier? I think the Knicks are going to keep Fournier, because I think Tibbs, we are missing Mike Woodson, as I had mentioned a few shows back, but and that was the real defensive mind, because Tibbs is doing the offense, the defense, and he's monitoring the G League team. He's got a lot on his plate,
right?
But that's all I really have to say, other than good show, great show.
Gotcha.
Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely.
And but I wouldn't expect the same kind of performance against, if the Knicks were a full team and the Hawks were at full strength. There's only 2 guys on that squad that can shut Trae Young down. One I've seen do it, and that's quickly. Second one I think could do it is Grimes. I agree. I'm not Grimes. Well,
I know what you mean.
Grimes might.
You talking about McBride? You mean McBride?
I mean Deuce.
You mean
I
McBride.
mean McBride. Yes.
Right.
I mean McBride.
Absolutely.
And that's all I have to say. And to everybody else, have a great holiday.
All right, absolutely. All right, shout out to Stan, man. Thank you for calling in. Interesting enough, he feels like they're shopping Kemba, and he feels like it's might not be able to last, and that's an interesting concept to think about because there's pros and cons to Kemba, right? At this point, the way Kemba's playing right now, like we don't expect him to score 30 points a game. Today he didn't, but today what he did was he created havoc with paint touches and dribble penetration, and to be an effective guard or be an effective player in this game, you need to have more than one skill set. So if he's passing at another level and still kind of spreading the floor because it's a threat from three, and now you're adding rebounds to that skill set, then sometimes you can live through these crazy stretches. Now, here's the thing: when we have Quickly and McBride back, he's not going to be playing this many minutes. So he's not going to be having triple-double game because he's not going to be having 40 minutes a game like he's having right now. But I do think it makes the decision. I'm not sure if it's a foregone conclusion that we move Kemba if the team rallies around Kemba. You know what I'm saying? If the team starts to rally around him because of his positive attitude, and even Julius starts to follow him too, which is if you look at the post game on ESPN after the game, it looks like they're starting to get on the same page. And if that starts to happen, then I'm not sure that's the direction that the franchise is going in. I maybe might try to move Fournier. All right, I might try to move Fournier and get Grimes more time, and still find time for McBride as well. Of course, cut Cunningham and find time for McBride, but that might even get trickier once Derrick Rose comes back. But man, what a difference a week and a half makes, man. Jeez, we have to see what happens more because there's still a lot of games left, and this 13 or 14 game stretch is going to be telling. To see if Kemba can keep this up, if this team can keep moving in the right direction. If we start running off a lot of games and win more than half of our games, maybe 8 out of 14 or something crazy like that, 9 out of 14, then we might have to really reevaluate this team and figure out if we're going to really be buyers or sellers when it comes time to hit this off season. All right, last caller of the game, of the night, I mean. Our closer, tell him Alejandro.
Test. Hey, Jay Ellis, how you doing today?
What's going on, man?
Happy holidays, Merry Christmas.
Yep.
Are you ready to smoke on this Atlanta Hawks pack? I am ready to smoke on this Atlanta Hawks pack. Now, of course, it's not as sexy because Trae Young's not there, and we all want to shut him down. We all want to shut him up. And we already know, based off the off-season that we had with some of the changes that we made, we now have the personnel to outmatch him and exploit his weaknesses, his lack of defense, because we got rid of Reggie Bullock, thank God.
Mm-hmm.
But with that being said, even though the win isn't as sexy, still, to this day, I'm looking at Clint Capella, and I got beef with Clint Capella. I still have yet to see him body Mitchell Robinson. I saw him talk big and bad when he had a 3-1 lead. I saw him talk big and bad when he went up against 35, 36, 37-year-old Taj Gibson. And we had Nerlens Noel with an injured ankle, who was third, top 2, top 3 in blocks. That's when he was talking trash. When he had to deal with Noel, he had to deal with Robinson. Now, ever since we played them twice this year and Mitch has been on, I still have not yet to see Clint do anything.
That is a
so I'm
great point.
always going to expose Clint Capella for doing nothing.
That's a
for
great
being
point.
a regular generic inside big man that's mad replaceable. I'm not saying he don't do good stuff for Atlanta Hawks, but come on now. You don't think Sims can contribute the way that Capella does? You don't think that Robinson can, Noel can? A lot of other big men in this league can contribute the way that Capella can. For him to think that he was the vacation sender, that was dumb. You see how us Knicks fans never forget what Spencer Dinwiddie said?
Yep.
That's how I feel when it comes to Clint Capella. I ain't never going to forget what he said.
Mm.
So whether Trae Young's there or not, we always going to smoke in his pack.
Facts.
Now let's continue. Remember I told you this game we was going to get a few answers. Now, we ain't get all the answers that we need because we couldn't get the full competition because they ain't had Trae Young.
Right.
But I am starting to see something. We got Kemba. He's going crazy, right, for the past 4 games. Now, I think, honestly, I like him. I like the chemistry that might be brewing when we get all the young guys back.
Right.
I know we all want to move Fournier. But I don't know if we should move Kemba, man. I kind of like having him. If he's going to play like this, obviously. Right? I kind of like having him. Especially Jay Ellis. Especially Jay Ellis with no Derrick Rose for 8 weeks.
Yeah.
This is like insurance, you feel me?
This
is insurance that I think Kemba could cook and possibly get. If we're offered something good by the deadline, maybe we can't refuse it, you know? But
right.
I'm not so sure I'm rushing to move Kemba, man. And it's going to be mad important for Randle to play a role different from last year.
Right.
He's not the guy no more.
Right.
Defer to Kemba. Build chemistry with Kemba how you had with Reggie Bullock last season. And I think something special could be brewing. I really like what I'm seeing from Kemba Walker, honestly. And you know what?
Yeah.
When he's cooking, right, to help make up for the poor defense, I'm not so sure we should be starting Fournier next to him.
Right.
I absolutely love Grimes. The more I'm seeing Grimes, I love him. He makes quick decisions on offense. He's spraying on offense. I think he had at one point 5 threes. I didn't look at the box score. I don't know if he had a 6-3 or not. I know today at one point he had 5 threes. No, he had 15 points, so he only had 5 threes. But with that being said, I saw him matched up with Cam Reddish. That's another wing that the Atlanta Hawks love gassing up. Oh, Cam Reddish, we won the Luka trade. No, you didn't. Luka's better than both Trae Young and Cam Reddish. Just say, because your man Cam Reddish is inconsistent. You saw those bricks he was shooting today?
Sure did.
And the reason why I'm bringing up Cam Reddish, Jay Ellis, because I saw our boy Quentin Grimes match up with him. And I feel like Grimes was matching up with him very well. I think he would match up well with DeAndre Hunter. I think he would match up well with several wings in this league.
I agree.
So I feel like if we pair him up next to Kemba, that might help with some of the defensive mishaps that we had as opposed to pairing him up with Fournier, who we know, he's been struggling defensively all season long.
Yeah.
Another thing, Jay Ellis, I kind of want – I know R.J. Barrett just came back from Corona and he's shooting bricks. I kind of want him to get a flow and build chemistry with the bench. I always say we have the best bench in the league. I want to see him run with IQ and Obi because, they bring that energy. I want to see him run with McBride.
Yeah.
And maybe Grimes could be his replacement, But I'm not so sure I want to see R.J. running with Kemba and Randle. I feel like I've seen, especially with Randle, I've seen him run with Randle, and I feel like, Randle has to defer to Kemba. So how is he, where's RJ going to fit in that? If we're already having trouble with, not trouble, but transitioning from a Randle team from last year to maybe just guards handling it and Randle trying to fit in with them, I think a good spot for RJ would be off the bench with the guard squads, with the young guns. And, I think he could develop something with them, man. But with that being said, I'm happy we got the W today because, honestly, even though they had no Trae Young, losing this game would have been like losing the last game. We should have won against the Wizards with no Bradley Beal. Come on, man.
Absolutely.
And hopefully we can get our players healthy. You feel me? I didn't have any problems with Coach Tibbs today. I'll be watching him. I feel some type of way about Coach Tibbs. I had no problems with him today. Today was decent. And we'll see if Kemba could continue this momentum because this came out of nowhere. And if he can, something really could change with this season, man. We've been under 500 for a little minute. But these past 4 games that Kemba's been playing, hopefully Jay Ellis is not just, the knees is fresh because he ain't played for like a month, and then he'll wear it down. Hopefully it's not that. But if it is, we got to ship him out of town before, while the stock is still high. We just got to play it day by day, you feel me? Day by day. So I'm happy. I'm mad excited. God bless to you, man. I'm going to hear what you got to say. You feel me? Happy holidays, everybody. Merry Christmas. Knicks. Knicks.
Let's go. Let's go. That's my boy. Tell him Alejandro, man, the closer. We got to call him over here. Shout out to my guy. Tell him who always gives the energy and good points as usual, man. A lot to talk about. The first thing he was really talking about was Kemba Walker, and He's saying he might want to keep him. And listen, if he keeps playing like this, I'm not opposed to it. I'm not opposed to it. Now here's the thing. Right now we're still playing guards who can't really destroy us offensively. To really see the effect of Kemba Walker on the defensive end at full strength. Like, we didn't have Trae Young today. So that's one thing we have to take in consideration. But on the other hand, like I said before, the early beginning part of the show, if you're looking at the offensive side of the ball, this is more what we envisioned when we had Kemba Walker here. The offense moving through Kemba Walker. His paint touches are creating open looks. The pick and roll between him and Randle and him and Mitch are creating open looks for shooters and Randle. Randle is able to think less and react more and just score off of pick and pops or a secondary playmaking action. All those things are happening as a result of Kemba Walker being able to orchestrate this offense. So from the offensive side, it seems like our Knicks have grown leaps and bounds when Kemba kind of has found his stride, and Julius Randle has finally decided to take the back seat, and Kemba Walker is driving the bus offensively. But we still have to see when we start to play these other guards. If Trae was playing today, if we start to play, the Russell Westbrooks or other offensive-minded guards who are quicker, stronger. That's when it's going to really get interesting to see how we react and how we respond. And like I said before, like Tellum has said before, I would really like to see Grimes. I would really like to see Grimes next to Kemba to shorten up that side of the ball, to really shorten up that. And I think my real fake cousin Winston Ellis, he mentioned in the chat, Grimes is kind of low key our Klay Thompson. You know what I mean? He's low-key our Klay Thompson. So he's gonna be the guy who's kind of helps to cover up some of the deficiencies on the defensive end, because we're gonna need it. Because you already know, we already seen it happen with the Wizards, that they attacked Kemba Walker every play going down the stretch. So if that's gonna happen, we're gonna need guys who's gonna be able to rotate, who's gonna be able to not only just rotate and defend, but also can guard their own man one-on-one for longer stretches of time and not create multiple holes. So that's going to help. It's going to help us a success rate if that happens. It's also going to help our success that Mitch is rounding into form, and it's going to help us overall. Now, the other thing he said was something I kind of mentioned on this program before too, was I like RJ running with the second unit more. I honestly do, and it doesn't really have anything to do really with RJ's performance per se. He just seems to fit with the second unit more because they like to run and he likes to run. So I do kind of agree with that assessment. I like him with Grimes and Quickly and being that guy on that second unit. And I agree with like all the points you said. Trade deadline is February. This is going to be a nice little trial run to see where our team is moving forward. Offensively, we're moving in the right direction. If we can move on the right direction defensively, we'll be in the right pace. And also, if Julius Randle, shout out to Julius Randle, man. I saw this man smiling today. I haven't seen this man smile in like a week. He seemed like he was happy. It seemed like he was happy. It seemed like he was happy for Kemba. He was the one who pointed out to Kemba, hey, triple double watch. Watch it. Watch it out. Watch out now. So if Julius Randle can keep this mental going, and it seems like when I'm looking at Kemba, it seems like Kemba is pulling Julius Randle mentally to get him to that happier place. That's what it looks like to me, at least from what I've seen so far on the television today when I was looking at the postgame. If Julius Randle can keep that up, then maybe we can turn this thing around. It can be better than we think. So, yeah, man. Good show. All along, good win, man. All along, good win. That is our show. Shout out to Jay Boogie. Shout out to Telem Alejandro. Shout out to Knicks Nation TV, repping old school. Fritz Alexander picks for Timmy. Everybody else was rocking with the KOT show. Listen, man, please hit that like button. Please hit the subscribe button if you like the show. We should have Ryan back and Roy back for the next game on Tuesday, I believe, versus the Thunder. It should be a gimme game, although the Thunder did win the game before. You don't want to take any team lightly, but the march towards the right direction is going to start with the Thunder game, and let's keep this momentum going and win these games. All right. But if you like the show, please hit that like button. Please hit the subscribe button and subscribe to our channel. We're on our road to 7K subscribers on YouTube, so we're definitely trying to get to that goal. I think we're at 6,400 and something. So help us get to 7K. Also, definitely follow us on Instagram. I think we're about 60 away from 10K followers on Instagram. And you don't even know. That'll be a huge help. If we can get to 10K followers on Instagram, huge help for us. You'll be able to promote on that more. It can help us with revenue streams. It can help us promote the show more. The swipe up situation happening. So definitely follow us on Instagram as well. That is our show. Thank you guys for watching. Definitely appreciate the support. Shout out to the chat once again. Fritz Alessandro, Knicks Nation TV, Telem Alejandro, Winston Ellis, Stan. Everybody else is rocking with the show. I'm out. Enjoy your Christmas. I'm getting some food and chilling with my family. Peace.